Hey there, explorers! Welcome back to our channel, where we're about to embark on a fascinating journey into a question that has intrigued and captivated minds throughout the ages. Where did God come from? It's a query that has echoed through centuries, sparking countless debates and contemplative conversations. Today, we're diving deep into the realm of philosophy and theology to unravel the enigma of God's origins. As we navigate through this intellectual adventure, we'll not only ponder the existence of the divine, but also delve into the intricate tapestry of his attributes, those divine qualities that have inspired devotion, awe, and reflection across different cultures and belief systems. The topic of where God comes from often comes up when atheists talk to Christians. But it's important to know that Christians believe God has always been here, so asking where he came from might not be the right question. According to the Bible, God has existed forever, and this idea doesn't fit neatly into our normal way of thinking about time. In Psalm chapter 90, verse 2, it says, "Even from everlasting to eternal, you are God." This verse tells us that God has existed from forever in the past to forever in the future. This means God is way beyond what we can understand as humans. So, when we ask where God came from, it's like trying to fit something really big into a really small box. It just doesn't work because God's existence is too huge for our minds to grasp. The word God has a fascinating history, and it comes from an ancient Greek word that means to pour. Even though we're not completely sure about where this word came from, it has been used in different languages and cultures for a very long time, going way back in history. This means that the idea of gods or divine beings has been a part of human stories and beliefs for many, many years. And it's something that people from all over the world have talked about and thought about in their own unique way. So, when we use the word God today, we're actually carrying on a tradition that's been around for centuries. In the Hebrew tradition, there are many different names used to talk about God. These names, like Elohim, Jehovah, or Yahweh, Adonai, and Lord, are used because they help describe various sides of who God is and how powerful he is. For example, Elohim tells us about God's mighty creative power. Jehovah or Yahweh helps us understand God's personal and caring nature. Adonai shows respect for God's authority, and Lord is a way to address God with reverence. So, when people in the Hebrew tradition talk about God, they use these different names to show all the different qualities and characteristics that make up God's amazing nature. It's like looking at a beautiful diamond from different angles to see all its sparkling facets. Let's dive deeper into the names that are used to talk about God, the most powerful being. The first name is Elohim. This name is like a spotlight on God's job as the one who made everything in the world and is in charge of it all. It's like saying that God is the ultimate boss and the mastermind behind everything we see around us. Imagine God as the architect and builder of the whole universe, and Elohim is the name we use to remind us of this incredible role that God plays in our world. It's a bit like calling a chef master chef, because they're the best at making delicious meals. Another important name used for God, and that's Yahweh. This name is special because it's all about the personal relationship between God and the people of Israel. It's like having a close friend or a caring family member you can talk to and rely on. In the Jewish tradition, Yahweh was used to show this intimate bond between God and the Israelites. However, as time went on in Jewish tradition, another name, Elohim, started to become more common. This name focused more on how God is in control of everything in the whole world, not just in a personal way. It's like saying that God is not just a friend, but also the ultimate ruler of the entire universe. Interestingly, Yahweh became so special and sacred to the Jewish people that they stopped saying it out loud. It was seen as too holy to speak. So they started using Elohim more often to talk about God's universal power. It's like having a really secret and precious name for someone you love deeply, but keeping it close to your heart. Now, let's dig into what makes God who he is. According to the Bible, God is not just the one who made everything in the world. He's also like a loving father to us. This is different from thinking of God as someone who is far away and not really interested in us. Instead, God is very involved with what He created, and He shows a deep and personal connection to us, human beings. Imagine God as not just the builder of a big, beautiful house, which is the universe, but also as a caring parent who lives in that house with us. He doesn't just watch from a distance. He's right there with us, guiding, protecting, and loving us. This idea of God as a loving Father is like having a close and meaningful relationship with someone who cares for us deeply. This difference makes the Christian God unique when compared to gods in other religions. In many other belief systems, the way people interact with their gods is often rooted in feelings of fear or a focus on personal gain rather than the central values of love and compassion. In Christianity, the emphasis is on a loving and compassionate relationship with God. It's about connecting with a God who cares for us deeply and wants the best for us, rather than being motivated by fear or self-interest. This sets the Christian understanding of God apart and shapes the way believers relate to their divine being. It's like having a loving and supportive parent rather than a strict and distant authority figure. Going back to the main question, it's crucial to understand that God didn't come into existence like everything else does. Instead, God is uncaused, which means nothing caused Him to exist, and He has always been here. This idea of God depending on something else for His existence doesn't apply because God is self-sustaining and eternal by His very nature. It's like saying that God doesn't have a birthday or a starting point. He's just always been here, and He doesn't need anything or anyone else to exist. In the Christian faith, the belief is that we have two main options when it comes to understanding the ultimate cause of everything. One option is to accept the idea of a self-existent, intelligent being as the ultimate source and reason for everything we see around us. This means believing that there is a God who is intelligent and has always existed, and He is the one who caused everything to come into existence. The other option, according to this faith, is to think that something material has been here forever, without any explanation for its existence. In other words, it's like saying that there's always been some kind of material stuff in the universe, and we don't really know why or how it got here. So, in the Christian perspective, you can either believe in a self-existent, intelligent God as the ultimate cause, or you can accept the idea that something material has just been around forever without any clear reason. What sets apart the Christian God from gods in other religions is the way they relate to their followers. The Christian God engages in direct communication with humanity, demonstrating qualities like humility, genuine love, and sincere concern. In Christianity, God is seen as actively reaching out to people, speaking to them through various means, such as scriptures, prayer, and personal experiences. This interaction is characterized by a sense of humility, as God is willing to connect with humans on a personal level, despite His vastness and power. Furthermore, the Christian God is described as loving and caring, genuinely concerned about the well-being of His followers. This intimate and loving relationship between God and humanity is a distinctive feature of the Christian faith, setting it apart from other belief systems where the divine-human connection may be different in nature. This special personal connection makes the Christian God different from the gods you find in mythologies. In many myths, gods are often shown as very proud and self-centered, not really caring much about the people and creatures they created. However, the Christian God is the opposite of this. He is portrayed as humble, caring deeply about His creation, and having a real personal connection with humans. This contrast highlights a key distinction between the Christian God and the gods of mythology. It's about a loving and compassionate relationship versus a distant and self-absorbed one. When considering the authenticity of religious texts, the writings about the Christian God hold historical accuracy, scientific relevance, and fulfilled prophecies unmatched by any other religion. Although these texts cannot provide definitive proof of God's existence, they do increase the likelihood and offer a foundation for faith. To sum it all up, the question of where God came from can be really puzzling if we try to think about it using our usual way of understanding time. But according to the Bible, God doesn't have a beginning. He's always been here, and He wasn't caused by anything or anyone. He's way beyond what our minds can fully grasp. What makes God stand out is the personal relationship He wants to have with the people He created. This sets him apart from gods in other religions who might not show the same kind of personal care and love. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel for more content like this and sharing it with fellow Christians seeking a mindful connection with God. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video helpful, and feel free to leave a comment below to share your thoughts with us. We hope this video has shed some light on the age-old question of God's existence and origin. Stay blessed and see you next time.